Joining us now is former Maryland Congresswoman and MSNBC political analyst Donna Edwards. Donna, it's always great seeing you. How much do you think this personal approach the vice president is taking to reproductive access resonate with voters in a state like Georgia?
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, I was listening in on that live stream, and those were such poignant moments. It was heartbreaking to hear Amber's story. I mean, she was just 29 years old when she died in what is described as a preventable death. And I think it's really important for the vice president to personalize this issue, to show that there are real faces and lives at stake when it comes to abortion rights and reproductive freedom. And I thought it was a very compelling moment. I'm not surprised at all today that that the vice president continues to lean into this message around reproductive freedom, because it is so important to so many women and men and families. And so I'm looking forward to hearing the vice president's remarks, because I think that moving forward all across the country, these issues are coming up, whether they're ballot measures or they're opposition candidates across the spectrum, and it is going to be a voting issue.
Yeah, and Donna, we will see her remarks and hear them right here on MSNBC when she does begin. So stay tuned for that. But I you know, bringing up your issue that you just mentioned, I mean, this issue is going on in Georgia. These two extraordinary ladies lost their lives in that state. But voters across the country are affected by changing laws in the wake of the Dobbs decision. Will remarks like these, do you think, enough to get the attention of undecided voters in key swing states that both candidates are vying for?
I think absolutely. And, you know, Yamiche pointing out the sign that she said that 1 in 3 women are affected by the Dobbs decision and these abortion bans, because women have to travel across state lines to get appropriate health care. Women's health and safety is jeopardized sometimes in the states where they are, as we heard, and we'll continue to hear in Georgia and Texas and many other states. And so it is very resonant with voters. I mean, they feel this. In my home state in Maryland, we feel it because we're getting women coming across state lines from West Virginia and other states to seek abortion care in our state in Maryland.
Donna, we were talking about Harris's campaign event last night with Oprah Winfrey. Among the topics covered was gun violence. I want to play for you a moment from that conversation.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I did not know that.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
Yes, I hear that. I hear that.
Probably should not have said that.
But
my staff will deal with that later.
Yeah.
Donna, what's your reaction to that moment?
Well, what a testament to Oprah's skills that she has a way of drawing out the people that she's talking to. Look, I heard the vice president say that during the debate, and you know, my mouth was wide open for about a minute or two. But actually, I think that this highlights the vice president's position on guns. She has said that for responsible gun owners, for people who seek a gun license, as she has, that there are no problems. But she does draw the line at having assault weapons, weapons of war, a weapon of choice that's used in so many mass shootings across this country, expanding background checks, making sure that there are red flag laws in place all across the states. These are things that draw a distinction. And I actually think that the fact that she and Tim Walz are both gun owners puts them in a better position of highlighting the differences between responsible gun safety and gun safety laws and those who want to be irresponsible, putting guns in the hands of people who shouldn't have them.
Yeah, I mean, I want to also underline the fact that it was a campaign event that the vice president and Oprah were at. So I presume that issue was pre-planned to be brought up, but certainly the response by the vice president is, as you say, something that was fascinating to see. And Donna, abortion is a huge issue. So is the economy. There's new AP polling out showing the vice president just 2 points behind Trump on handling of the economy. That's within even the margin of error. This would be a huge game changer and a wild asset for the vice president.
Well, and with good reason, because I do think that the vice president has been very clear about realizing and recognizing the circumstances that Americans are facing when they go to the grocery store, they go to get gas, or or buy consumer goods, and this idea of inflation and wanting to tamp down on that. And so she's actually done quite a good job at recognizing where people are, but also pointing to the highlights in the economy and pointing to her ideas about how to right size the economy for ordinary Americans.